How you doing, everybody? Welcome to the Vince&Al Podcast. I'm Vince.
And I'm Al.
And we just want to say thank you so much for listening. A little bit of change of pace with that music there. Got some Bruno Mars up in here.
Treasure, huh?
Treasure, yeah. Well, hey guys, episode 4. Can you believe it? As always, we're gonna roll our dice. If you guys don't know what we're really talking about, you can refer to our episodes 2 and 3. But just brief recap. There's 6 sides on it. You know what?
Recap.
Quick recap. You know what? Never mind.
Because our podcasts are
Yeah, sure. Never mind. It's all good. Point is, we're gonna roll our dice. Whatever topic it lands on, that's what we're gonna talk about. So, Al, would you like to start us off?
Yes, I would love to. Yeah.
So you're gonna be the first roll here.
All right. Let's hope it's not movies. Sorry, I know you love movies.
No. We talk about it way too much, so I think we're together on that one.
Let's go to work.
Okay, we got.
It was movies.
No, just kidding, guys. We got wild card. So this is our first wild card play of the day.
Play of the game.
Play of the game. And pretty much it's anything. So Al rolled. So anything Al wants to talk about, that's what he's gonna talk about. It's wild card, man. It's whatever you want. So
I am
what's up?
big on sports.
Oh
and
boy.
So my little wild card is a nice one about sports. So I know this was a little while back, but I think it's something worth mentioning.
Let's hear it.
Ezekiel Elliot.
Yes.
Vincent, you're familiar with him because
Sure am.
we're both big Ohio State Buckeye fans, and
Absolutely.
he's part of the big run to win the national championship.
Sure
so
is.
he's always gonna be, a Buckeye, and so I have always followed him into his professional career and beyond. And I think he just has a lot of potential. I think he's got what it takes to be, one of the greatest running backs. That might be a little biased, but what's going on with him is, and I think this is caused by the spotlight that was put on him too young.
Johnny Manziel, man.
Yeah.
Johnny Manziel.
So the NFL lately has been cracking down on domestic violence, which is good.
Ray Lewis.
Ray Rice.
Ray Rice.
A lot of other players.
Wait, did I say the wrong name?
Yeah.
I did?
Both the same team.
Oh.
Baltimore Ravens.
Sorry, guys.
Don't like the Baltimore Ravens.
I'm
by
not
the way.
the
We're a
not the
Browns fan.
sport connoisseur here.
Domestic violence is, I would say, an epidemic, and not
Sure.
just the league, but maybe in our society and stuff like that. I also think people overuse the term domestic violence. But
Hey,
going
we
into
got a little bit of a world news mixed with it goes on everywhere, mixed in with some sports.
So also think about sports because I think it applies, and we can learn lessons from sports that applies to everything. But what happened was July 16th.
Don't deflate your footballs.
Footballs, exactly.
What a great lesson.
Well, that's awesome. But July 16th, big day, for me and Vince.
It's for one of our birthdays per se. If you will.
If you must. No, but so July 16th, Ezekiel Elliot was, take a 2-minute introduction, but was in a bar. Nothing bad with that. I personally would never be in a bar, but...
Do you know what he was drinking?
I don't know what he was... I don't know. I'm sure he was drinking alcohol, not just water or something. I don't know.
You don't think he's the water type?
I drink water, man. I drink.
Oh.
But, obviously... Wow. Obviously, there's nothing bad per se with, if you will, with being in a bar. But what happened was, obviously with bars, you drink. And so what happened was there was a fight, and Ezekiel Elliot broke a nose of a DJ.
Since when are DJs at bars, though? It must be a pretty turnt bar, honestly.
Since when?
Yeah, since when? How many bars have you gone and seen a DJ?
Countless.
Okay. I'll take your word for it.
So anyway, what this happened obviously was controversy because Ezekiel Elliot has taken the league by storm with his skill and with his potential, and what he's done already is just fantastic. But
sure,
the NFL responded finally, like almost a month later, with suspending Ezekiel Elliot for 6 games out of the 16.
Wow.
And I wouldn't say finally. I don't like to see him suspended.
Yeah,
I hope he learns his lesson because
something to mess around with.
I mean, I think he's a role model.
Yeah.
I think that's sports figures. I think the sad thing is that there aren't as many sports figures as I would have liked to see
That's true.
in sports. I think a lot of them make bad and poor decisions. Don't set good examples.
For sure.
Sports have, a lot of power, I guess, a lot of say in what goes on. So I don't like that action, obviously. But he actually responded. I'm not sure with his tweet. Let me see if I can find it. Just a little quick one.
All right.
While I find it, what are your thoughts on it?
Well, it makes you wonder sometimes. You said Ezekiel Elliot. He is quite the role model, but at the same time, though, it's like the dude was just. I know he threw down, right? And if you don't agree with my opinion, that's cool. But at the same time, though, it's like, can he not go anywhere? And if he gets a punishment, does that all have to relate back to sports? Do you think that's because he's a role model, or because that's just the life you live as being an athlete? Whenever you do something that gets in trouble, that also suspends you for your game. Because to me, it's like what he was doing had nothing to do with the sport. If he punched a ref, yeah, suspend him from 6 games, maybe even more. Maybe not. Who knows? But I think that is. I feel like that's getting into his personal life too much.
Yeah.
It's like it's tough. It's honestly tough because the person that made that decision to suspend him from 6 games.
Roger Goodell.
There you go. That's not an easy decision. That's something you
it's
really
not.
have to think about, and it's definitely an opinionated decision. It surprises me that the littlest stuff, not that it was little,
Yeah.
but the littlest things in sports history that people do outside of the sport, and they have to pay for it during the sport. It just doesn't make sense.
Yeah,
to me.
and I think there's a lot of eyes on the NFL, and
Yeah.
NFL has taken its stance on domestic violence and how they're against that.
Right.
And so you can't just pick and choose who you want to suspend. You have to suspend, even your biggest stars. And so
Right.
that's NFL's approach. I found Ezekiel Elliot what he said, or
Sure.
what he had to say. It's just
Sure.
a post on Twitter. He said, I am both surprised and disappointed by the NFL's decision today, which was a while ago, and I strongly disagree with the league's findings. I recognize the distraction and the disruption that all of this has caused my family, friends, teammates, the Dallas Cowboys organization, as well as my fans. For that, I am sincerely sorry.
That is interesting.
He said, I admit that I am far from perfect, but I plan to continue to work very hard on and off the field to mature and earn a great opportunity that I've been given.
I think that last paragraph was very politically correct. However, I think everything up to that point, though, was bold.
Yeah.
Saying that he feels like they were wrong. That's interesting because I don't feel like you see that too much. I feel like it's a lot of, I'm sorry for what I've done.
Dude wants to play.
I will guarantee you that it will not happen again. That guy kind of Ezekiel Elliot kind of stood his ground. And I give him credit for that. It's just an interesting move.
He's still young. Last year was his rookie season.
Yeah.
And he even said, he has to work on and off the field, to
Sure.
mature. Especially with having that much spotlight just like that on you.
Right.
It's hard. It's hard to cope and deal with that. And I think overall he's done a good job.
Mm-hmm.
But there are some things that he can improve on, like he said.
Right.
But yeah, we'll see what happens.
Interesting.
Hopefully that 6-game suspension.
It'll change things for him. That's for sure.
I hope so.
Yeah, mold him a little bit. Well, that was interesting. Thanks for bringing that up, dude.
No problem. It was sports, but also a little deeper than that. So
yeah, wild card, man.
Let's see what happens.
Yeah. Okay. So now I'm gonna take a roll here and see what topic I get, and then I'll address the topic. Oh, would you look at that? We got another wild card. That's crazy, man. Oh, just kidding. Not rigging this game or anything like that. Yes, we got a wild card. There's a couple things I wrote down here. Let me just. All right, I got a little game we're gonna play.
Ooh.
Okay.
I love games.
Yeah. Those of you at home listening, you can feel free to play this as well, if you want to. So Al and I, we're big into clothing. We're not necessarily saying that we're always on point or anything like that, but we definitely enjoy shopping and looking around and just seeing what's out there.
Yeah.
We definitely care about how we dress and all that.
How we look.
Exactly. So I'm going to talk about 3 brands that are on the rise, in my opinion.
Adidas.
Not Adidas, surprisingly. It's not.
That's my brand.
It's not because I have a stigma against them or anything. It is 3 brands that I look at and I see, man, they're doing something right. So we're going to play a little game here. I'm going to give you 1 brand at a time. There's 3 of them total.
Okay.
The first question, like I said, all these are doing something right. The question is this brand necessary for society? You probably think, well, nothing's necessary for society.
Mm-hmm.
I'll tell you my opinion first, so you can kind of see how this game will go. So the first one is Vans.
All right.
Now, Vans is obviously something that's been around for a long time. They're definitely on the rise.
Again.
Because they provide something that really no other brand does, and that is when you go into a mall, you have Nike, you have Adidas, you have Puma, Reebok, you have all these brands at a Foot Locker finish line, right? And they, let's face it, they're expensive. I think about the cheapest Nike model out there is about a Roche Run, which retails anywhere from $50 to $75.
Mm-hmm.
And sorry, listeners, if some of these terms that we're saying is going over your heads. We're talking about shoe models here. So Nike Roche Run, it's pretty inexpensive. However, though, I feel like when you buy a Roche Run, you know that when I bought mine, I knew this wasn't the most expensive thing in the world. But sometimes everybody had one, so you looked really cool.
Yeah.
However, there's a brand, though, which that is Vans. We can go into a store where there's Journey, the Vans store. There's plenty of other stores that carry Vans as well. And you can actually buy a brand new pair of shoes off the shelves from anywhere ranging to $30, maybe to around $80. But let's face it, the majority of Vans are anywhere from $40 to $50.
Yeah.
In today's economy, fairly affordable. I'm not saying everybody can afford it, but it's fairly affordable. So to me, I think the brand is necessary because it's a pair of shoes that I feel like it gives people a lot of confidence in wearing, and it's very affordable and it's very accessible to get a pair. And at the same time, widely accepted. You can wear it dressed up or dressed down. There's such a culture behind Vans, and I feel like it is a quality shoe at times. So what do you think?
From what I've seen is that I don't know, but Vans kind of fluctuates. That
Sure.
makes sense.
Absolutely.
There's times where Vans are in. There's times where Vans are out. Maybe the same thing applies to Converse. I don't know.
No, you're absolutely correct. That's actually a very interesting point you bring up.
Vans, I never have owned a pair. Maybe like once, but not brand of shoes that really catches my eye.
Sure.
Not my style of shoe.
Sure. I'm in complete agreement.
It's not like if I were to be given one as a gift, I wouldn't have worn it.
Right.
So I don't really have much to say about Vans.
Oh, that's completely understandable.
The pricing I think is great. The white Vans phase.
Sure. Yeah. That was that lasted for like 2 days.
Yeah. But I think they're doing a great job overall. Reaching out to, it's more of a younger market.
Sure.
And yeah, I really don't have much else to say.
No, it's fine. This next one it's kind of broader. And I'm going to leave this one up to you. Puma. I feel Puma is completely on the rise. I feel like it is a shoe that is second to none right now. I would actually compare it to Adidas and Nike easily. I can tell you why in a minute, but I want to hear your thoughts. Is this brand necessary? What is it bringing anything new to the table?
Well, Nike ruled, and I still hate to admit it. I have Nike shoes, but Nike continues to rule the game.
Absolutely.
But Adidas has risen tremendously. I think they've reached out to many customers. I think Puma has seen that, and they have kind of modeled after Adidas.
Mm-hmm.
Adidas is still on the rise, so is Puma. Just like Vans, I haven't really owned a pair of Pumas, but I like their lifestyle. I like their sports. Where as a soccer player, they have great cleats. They break down a little easily, but they have good cleats,
Yeah.
as I've heard. And I feel doesn't Puma has like a partnership somehow with Adidas, doesn't it?
Um,
Like brothers or something.
well, both of them are European based. I know Adidas. I don't know the exact. Might be Switzerland, but I don't know the exact country of origin. But I know Puma is Germany, and I know that at first both of the founder of Adidas, name's escaping me. Please
I think it's
excuse me.
Eddie
on that.
Dassler.
That might be it. And I know he was a designer and originally went over to jumpstart Puma as a secondary brand.
Yeah.
And then I know that things didn't work out, so it was not a co-partnership or anything like that.
Okay.
Here's my take on Puma. Same thing with Vans. You have something like a Yeezy, right? Retails at $250, resales for over $1,000. Al or I cannot explain that. It's just, it is what it is. It's resale for you. When you look at all these entertainer shoes, like pop artists, stuff like that, I'm trying to think of somebody. They're all escaping me. They all resell for crazy. Pharrell Williams, thank you so much.
Human races.
Yeah. Okay. How big of a star is Rihanna?
Big.
I would say fairly big. Not the biggest, but fairly big. Name always escapes me. It's like SIA. Black hair and then like white hair.
Yes, I think that's
there you go. You have Rita Ora. You have all these females that signed on to Puma, and they all are once again entertainers. They have a huge following, which boosted up Puma sales. And their shoes are on Finish Line shelves for anywhere to like $70 to $80.
Wow.
And not only is it just a $70, $80 shoe, it's unique, it's inventive. If you look at what they're doing with their tongues, it's not my style, but their tongues come up like mid-calf.
The tongues on the shoes.
Yeah, come up mid-ankle. Stuff that's not my style, but it appeals to a broad spectrum of people. And that is something truly unique. You can't argue that. Puma also has great lifestyle with like their Puma baskets, Puma suedes, things like that. All stuff that I really like. Also very affordable, $30 to $40 retail. That's crazy. So to me, I think the brand is not serious. I feel like they're pumping out.
Let me guess. Is the next one New Balance?
No.
I love New Balance.
No. Really?
I actually like
Fila. All right. I do like those.
What's the third one?
Third and final one. I think this is gonna be one and done really quickly.
Yeah.
Supreme. Now, for the listeners that don't know what Supreme is, seriously look it up. The brand is just called Supreme, and it's written in white letters with a red box logo that goes around it. It's about the
original.
It's about the dumbest thing you're ever gonna see, and they take an all gray T-shirt and write Supreme on about maybe like the breast area, maybe in the center of the shirt. And we're talking something that retails at $80, sells out in like 2 seconds on their app, and then resales maybe around $300.
It's basically just hype, and
it's as ridiculous as it sounds. It is all hype. And so the question is this brand necessary?
No.
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 They're not bringing anything new to the table. It's the same thing over and over again, just slapping their logo on something.
I do think they did a phenomenal job of somehow adding value. I have no idea. Well, it's like
the guy that jump-started the brand, he was the lead designer at Louis Vuitton.
Okay.
I think that's how he got his following. He then went to Supreme, got his following that way. But the thing is, though, no offense to this guy, which once again name escapes me. If you were the head designer for Louis Vuitton, something that's putting out crazy handbags and all this, and he just went to a gray T-shirt with a red logo on it, that's interesting.
I think it's almost disrespectful. I don't know. I think people have put in so much time and effort into designing something, and then this guy just slaps a weak, I would say, logo. And
sure, it is weak.
We're kind of biased. We're kind of hating on Supreme.
Right.
Maybe it's because we don't have anything that's Supreme.
Right.
So, but I think, I don't know, it's plain and simple, and
it's just hype.
You gotta give credit to him, though.
Gotta give credit. But so before we go on episode 4, I always like to leave you guys with a quote. As you know, And today's quote, it's one of my favorites. Open for interpretation, but I think it's also pretty clear cut. Here it is. When you were counting the stars, you might have missed the moon. Or, when you were looking at the moon, you missed all the stars. Something worth thinking about, that's for sure. It's something that's impacted me, and I do think about it quite often. I don't know about Al and his opinion on it, but I think it's pretty good for what it's worth. But hey guys, just thank you so much for listening as always, and we'll catch you in episode 5. Take care.